So I'm thinking about how I have not really told my story, or a big part of my story now. I've been on YouTube for a while, and I haven't talked about a big thing that happened to me. And at one point I thought, well, why? Why have I not addressed that? So I'm going to. That is a toddler foot. I'm trying to keep him out of the camera, but that may not happen. So anyway, I'm currently 28. It is 2025 as I'm filming this. It is February 2025. And this story that I'm about to relate is a very inspiring story, by the way. So if you need some inspiration, go ahead. This story takes place back in 2016, or starts in 2016. Specifically April 2016, so there is that. Back then, I was in college, and this particular day, I drove back to my home. I wanted to see my then boyfriend, he is now my husband. Anyway, I made it home, drove, it was a 3-hour drive in the car, made it home, and then later that afternoon, I ended up getting this massive headache, and I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was a migraine, but I ended up just collapsing at one point. I was taken to the hospital where, they evaluated me, and it was a small town hospital, so after they figured out that there was something very wrong, the doctors there determined they couldn't fix it there, and they sent me on to a different location, about 1.5 hours away, and it was discovered that I had a brain aneurysm burst, and not only that, it was within an AVM in my brain, which that is when the arteries and veins in your body don't really connect in the correct way. They're just kind of jumbled together in a mess, and it's usually a pretty small thing, about the size of a quarter or something. Mine stretched all the way from over here and around the back of my head. Most of it was in the back right here, and then it came all the way up to here. So it was huge. And turn the AC off. That's AC in February. That's Texas. But they discovered that over the rest of 2016, from April to December, I had, 7 different surgeries to look and assess my issues and where that was, and to glue up any of the difficulties. It's like brain grade super glue, and they were pumping that in there so that they could cut off the blood flow. Because after that, I ended up having a craniotomy where they opened up my skull and they removed the avian thing. And I guess by that point, my body was just so tired of everything, because at the end of that, I ended up having a stroke. Bear in mind, I think by this point I was 20 by the end of 2016. Yeah, I was 20. But I had a stroke. When I woke up, there were all sorts of things wrong. I couldn't really do anything. I could kind of wiggle my right foot, not totally, just slightly. And in 2017, which I turned 21 that year, so that was cool. But over the course of that year, or at least the first part of that year, I relearned how to walk, talk, eat, swallow, all that good stuff. And then I got out of the hospital in, I believe, March that year. Continued having therapy and stuff at home. And then by November of that year, I actually got married. And I have gone on to have what I think is a pretty full life. I'm currently a stay-at-home mom, but that was a choice. It was not necessary. I mean, I have worked in the past. It wasn't like oh, you can't work, so you're gonna stay at home because you're not physically capable. Like, that was just a choice. And I didn't really realize it at the time, but people, thank you, buddy. People, even doctors and stuff, were saying that right there was very inspiring, especially the fact that when I went into rehab, inpatient rehab at first, it was pretty amazing to others that I would get up every day and like go do the therapy and stuff, and the other patients there could see progress, and apparently that was very inspiring. And to me, I just thought, well, my doctor said do these things and I would get better. And so I did those things and I got better. So to me, at the time, that was not a big deal, but apparently it was. And that was kind of what I wanted to make my main point about today. The mentality matters type thing. There is a great big deal. And that is Lucas, by the way. But there is a great deal to be said about whatever you are thinking of. If there is a goal that you have, whether it's to build a business or get over some kind of health thing or lose weight, gain, whatever it is, if you think I can't do it type thing, then it's a lot more likely that it's not gonna happen. But if you think, oh, I can do it, this is possible, this is going to happen, it is much more likely that it's going to happen. You will take the steps and get there, just as I was in the hospital. My thought, and I'm sure some people around me questioned, can she really get better? I don't know. Can she come back from this? Because I was nearly a vegetable, at the very beginning, right after my stroke. And I'm sure some people questioned it. And the fact that I did not, I think, is one of the major things that helped me in getting better. Because since I believed, oh, I'm gonna get better, it's a no-brainer type thing, I went to therapy, did the therapy, I was doing everything I was being told to do. And luckily I had a good doctor that were also telling me the correct things to do. So that's good. But the mentality was a very big deal. And that is a big deal for anyone. That's something that I haven't really talked about before. I believe I mentioned it years ago, but I have not mentioned that in a long time. I've never gone into detail, so I wanted to talk about it. Hopefully that inspires some people. If anybody has questions they want to ask someone about, I can answer them or try and answer them. I don't see anything recently. All the comments that are here are from the very beginning of the live, so I'm not really gonna answer anything. Hello, Kristen. I see that you're here. Hope you're having a good day. I'm talking about mindset and mentality and how that, can help people out in achieving goals and stuff. I told the story about my own health crisis It was years ago, but I told Dad. Asked if anyone had any questions. At the time, didn't seem like it. Uh, I may hang around here a few more minutes. I think I'm going to have to go soon. My toddler is over here attempting to entertain himself. Don't know how long that will last. Er, Alright, I'm going to jump off this since I believe I've talked about everything I was planning to. Have a good day, guys.